You're listening to the Happy Doc Student Podcast, a podcast dedicated to providing clarity to the often mysterious doctoral process. Do you feel like you're losing your mind? Let me and my guests show you how to put more joy in your journey and graduate with your sanity, health, and relationships intact.
I'm your host, Dr. Heather Frederick, and today I thought we would hang out and talk about rest. And why rest? Well, this is going live on February 14th, and that happens to be a holiday where we really focus on love. Now, truth be told, I've never been a big fan of this holiday. Really, any overly commercialized holiday has never really done much for me. But I do appreciate that for the past couple of weeks, I've been inundated with hearts and symbols of love, and it's really got me thinking about doing an episode on self-love. Now, you all know I am a huge fan of self-care. I believe it is our secret weapon. I'll link to episodes where I dive deeper into this concept in the show notes below. But in short, I believe that self-love is what motivates us, what fuels our self-care practice. And so I've been mulling around for a couple of weeks. Gosh, there's so much I can cover on this topic of self-love. What did I want to bring to my audience? And then something happened. It was about 2 weeks ago. I was at a doctor's appointment, and next thing you know, I landed myself in bed for a few days. And I think it was the universe saying to me, you need to hit the pause button right now. I had a ton of things going on, and although I consider myself really dedicated to my self-care practice and, fairly good at this point at that concept of practicing self-care, I really, really stink at rest. And so here I am in bed, and I'm thinking a lot about what does rest mean to me and what does it look like for me? And I started thinking about how I've been running this program for decades where rest kind of equates to being unproductive. So rest equals laziness is kind of the way I run and have run my life, which has resulted in a lot of awesome outcomes, honestly. But my body was saying time out. And so I started thinking, wouldn't it be cool if I could upgrade my program that I'm running and decide that rest is an act of self-care? And that's what I'm going to invite you to do today, is to come along with me. We're going to do a little exercise. It's just going to take a few minutes, but it's going to give you an opportunity to explore this concept of rest, which for me right now is the ultimate act of self-love. So if you're dual tasking, I'm going to invite you to stop and just hang out and be totally present with me. Again, I know you're busy. This is just going to take a few minutes. And get yourself comfortable. So if your legs are crossed, maybe uncross them and find your feet planted firmly on the ground. Maybe roll those shoulders up, back, and down, and just feel yourself melt into whatever surface that you're sitting on. If you feel comfortable to do so, why don't you blink those eyes closed and relax the skin on your face as we just simply breathe in and breathe out. Nice, deep inhale in. A full and complete exhale out. Breathing at your own pace. Inhaling and exhaling. And as you begin to just become present in this moment, I'm curious, what does rest look like for you? When you see yourself resting, What are you doing? Once you have that image, what does rest smell like to you? Maybe it's an ocean breeze, salty air, or maybe damp earth because you're taking a stroll deep in a forest. As you see yourself resting, what do you smell? I'm also wondering, what do you hear? Maybe there are waves crashing or leaves rustling in the wind. Maybe there's a steel drum playing a cool tune in the background. What does it sound like when you're resting? How about getting curious about what it tastes like? Are you sipping your favorite beverage? Or maybe eating some comfort food? As you envision yourself resting, just allow yourself to experience these different sensations. As you're breathing in and breathing out, what does your body feel like when you're at rest? Maybe you feel calm, at peace, at ease. Label these feelings and then give yourself permission. Allow yourself to feel that right now. What does it feel like when you're at rest? Breathing in and breathing out this feeling, letting it expand. Let's take a nice deep inhale together and maybe an audible exhale out. Let's do that again because it feels so good. A nice deep inhale and then letting it go. And as we get ready to introduce some movement back into your body, maybe find yourself tapping your toes or flicking your fingers, rolling your wrists. And as you're feeling ready, blinking your eyes open. You know me, I always love to end those type of practices with a big good morning stretch. And I hope that little adventure into exploring rest gave you some ideas about how you can celebrate Valentine's Day. What could you do to show yourself that you love you and maybe weave some opportunities for rest into your day? It could be something really simple, like a 20-minute nap. Or for me, it has meant getting out my calendar and canceling some events so that I can feel like I'm not so compressed and strapped for time. It has also meant accepting help when people have been offering it. So again, I hope that you enjoyed just taking a few moments to explore this concept of rest. And why don't we make every day Valentine's Day and express love in a way that feels good to you.
Thanks so much for listening, and I look forward to connecting with you on the next episode. Until then, if you're looking for more ways to invite joy in your journey, check out the free resources at expandyourhappy.com. You'll find downloads like an article I wrote titled The Doctoral Journey, 12 things you need to know that they probably won't tell you. You'll also find a PDF that organizes all podcasts by the 7 steps detailed in the Happy Doc Student Handbook, which you can also find on the website. Finally, if you're looking for Happy Doc Student swag, I've got that too. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and YouTube channel, and if you want to make my day, rate and review so that together we can change the way doctoral education is delivered and experienced. Hey, one more thing. Just a quick reminder that the information, opinions, and recommendations presented in this podcast are for general information only.